Okay, guys, we are back once again for another Stocks by Request. We are in part 2. If you watched the first video, or for those asking, we talked about APL, PSE, BDO, SM, DITO, PHA, and SM Prime in the previous video. In this video, we're going to talk about PLDT, Ali, AC, MRC, ICT, JFC, and BPI. But as you can see right here, right now, we are in for a very special treat kasi for the first time, we have Salve Duplito joining us in a charting session. So, Salve, say hello first to your adoring fans pala. Nakalimutan ko sabihin.
Adoring! Grabe,
Oo.
thank you, Mars. I'm not worthy of being in a stocks request episode of Marvin Guermo's channel. Grabe.
Then, tsaka, inisip ko lang,
Starstruck.
inabuso ko lang kasi, magkasama na tayo kanina. So, sabi ko, sakto to. Sakto na to. So, mechanics, guys. So, since this is a very special edition, normal, we're going to talk about the stock from a technical analysis perspective. Then, si Salve either babalansihin niya with fundamentals na positive or negative. So, okay lang naman yun. It's nice to have different views on it. Okay? So, let's start. Let's do this. Comment below if you want Salve more and more in videos like this. No? At sa mga nanonood, very, very special. Very, very special to. Okay, so the first chart that I'd like to talk about is PLDT. Value turnover for the day, guys, is 314 million. Closed the day at 3.14%. Then closed at 1,390 pesos per share. So looking at the chart, you can see it right here that if I zoom out, it's still not, the reason why it's not going up is because the resistance here at the 1482 level is not broken. And if you notice it, even from the previous videos where we talked about PLDT, it's very, very clear that if you zoom out further, you will see that for the past months already, it really hasn't got out of this particular resistance level. So, tinamaan nyo to bumagsak. It's right here at the resistance. So, as of today, no, large red candle predominantly because this resistance here at the 1,457 level was not broken, and it, as evidenced by it for the past 2 weeks already, it's not going up, no one's buying it higher. Then additional two negative bearish sentiments that I'd like to add during the red candle today, breakdown from the 20-day moving average, and also breakdown or at least a crossover from the MACD. So next week, if the 50-day and 100-day moving average will not hold, the possible retracement is it will just follow the range of where PLDT is headed, where we have a support at the 1,052 level, which is also close to where the 200-day moving average is. So, very, very interesting. Does not hold, can go within the range, 1,252 level. Now, Salve, from a value investing standpoint, fundamental standpoint, sobrang yaman standpoint, what's your sense for PLDT?
Marami regulatory issues because syempre nagkakaroon sila ngayon ng parang mga threat on that side because people are already tired of the poor service pagdating sa telco. So may mga papasok na bago sa industriya. So yung dati, Tel was one of my favorite stocks way before. Ano, nagsisimula pa lang ako mag-invest mga 20 years ago. So, na-imagine mo na kung magkano ko siya nabili. And then, diba? Tapos, nabenta ko siya ng... It's one of the best performing stocks at that time. Pero hindi na ako pumasok ulit. The reason why is I was a consumer. Dati, may fiber ako, talagang malaking consumer ako ng Tel kasi work from home na ako 15 years ago. So, kailangan ko talaga niyan. And in value investing, you really have to know the product of the company, the management, ano yung innovation that it's going through because you don't want the company to get stuck selling a particular product only. And the reason why when I sold, hindi na ako bumili ulit is nakita ko nga na this parang sense of monopoly na in the industry and they stopped, for me personally, they stopped innovating. And for a value investor, that's important because you're a long-term player and you want to know that in 10 to 20 years, they will be offering premium services. They will be one of the leaders in the industry kasi value investors don't really buy companies na hindi leader in the industry where they are active in. So in my sense, if you want to buy Tel, you have to be aware na it may get more volatile before it gets better. And that's still a question of whether kaya niya yung bagong air quotes, mga bagong players in the industry, and kung yung backbone, yung fiber optic cables na ilalagay, 'di ba maraming mga bagong ginagawa sana to improve the ability of telcos to really provide good service. That's parang pag-iisipan mo pa. Hindi siya, kasi ako when I invest, Marvs, dahil fundamental nga, tsaka value investing, kailangan when you pick something, there's no question in your mind that it will be number one in the industry. And since there's question mark, para sa akin, kailangan pag-isipan mo muna kung dapat ka pumili.
Got it. Amazing insights. And by the way, to everyone watching this, no matter what we say, technical, fundamental, valuations, never ever buy a stock just because we talk about it here. This is for information and data. Hopefully, after this video, buksan yung laptop nyo, yung phone nyo, and you start researching, and you get into what we talked about here to help you study more also. So, as you can see right now, Salve's view, PLDT is not innovating from a chart standpoint. It's sideways. It's breaking down from the 20-day moving average. All right, so let's continue. Excited ako dito. Ganda nung discussion. Kaya malalaman nyo guys sino talaga yung sobrang yaman. Kasi pag fundamentals yun yung pag long-term investing yun yung sobrang yaman. Yung mga pag trading yun yung pang trying to make it.
Huwag ka na maniniwala dyan. Baliktad. Kasi kung trading, ibig sabihin, marami siyang pera na pwedeng mawala.
Grabe. Okay, Ali.
Wait lang, mag-hello ka muna sa mga Kumu viewers mo.
Hello, Kumu viewers. Alam ko, napapabayaan ko kayo.
Yan, ganyan. Kailangan i-mention mo yung mga nag-join sa stream mo.
Ganun ba yun?
Yes, para magbagsak sila ng lechon sa'yo. Oh my gosh.
Ayan, wala walo lang eh. Sige, Salve, ba't?
Okay lang yun. Walo nga sa'yo, puto sa akin.
Hello, Kumu. Okay, kumusta? Okay. Ali, guys, same thing. By the way, to those watching this, we've been very consistent the past few days that large cap stocks are consolidating in its highs, consolidating in its resistance, and similar to what happened to PLDT consolidating in its highs. Ali also, as you can see right here, we've been mentioning this over and over, 42 resistance, not broken, consolidating. It was moving in a very, very thin range. The thin range was 42.40, and then right before that, January 13, it was trying to hit the 40 peso level. Eventually, a day after that, January 14, breakdown from the 40 level. Now, here's what's interesting today. Yesterday, it went below the 50-day moving average. Today is a confirmation of that once again. Current range for Ali right now, 40 peso resistance level, 38 peso support. However, similar to what we're seeing right now, MACD is still showing us that there's still no change, meaning the reversal that happened somewhere around the end of December, where we saw downward motion, is intact. GMMA is still continually pushing downward, but right now it's already oversold. But that being said, what you should watch for next week is the 38 peso support level, because if it does not hold that level, then we may see Ali already retrace to where the next support is, which is around the 34.6 level already. So Monday, 38.12 does not hold. Possible retracement level will be right here, 34.62. If it bounces off Monday, then it has a shot to go back to at least a 40 level. Pero it's a very, very thin range already. 39.40 to 42, it's a relatively thin range, and it's currently consolidating. So again, similar to PLDT, Ali, sideways. But now it's the second or third day below the 50-day moving average. Now, Salve Duplito, Ali.
Okay, disclosure, I'm invested in this company. Pero I will be very objective about everything that I say. And again, hindi po ibig sabihin nun dapat bumili din kayo because certain stocks fit certain people and you have to look at your goals, your time horizon, your risk appetite, etc. Now, very interesting. I was in an event kanina where Jasa was speaking. And then
Hindi, joke lang.
yeah, it's a Sharefield event. He gave the keynote speech, and then he said, "Ang dami-daming bagong investments that are in the pipeline." Of course, the demographic story hasn't changed despite the pandemic. A lot of people now don't have houses, and habang lumalaki yung population that are in working age, mas maraming mangangailangan ng bahay. Mas maraming mangangailangan ng condo. So you will expect that in the next 10 to 20 years, this company will have to, because it's one of the leaders in the industry, talagang malaki yung space na nakalaan para sa kanya to provide the needs of the people. You can't argue with the demographic story. Kahit na yan, sideways, nakikita mo. In fact, for me, every time I can get Ali at a good price, I buy because I believe in the fundamentals of the company. I've looked at the family that owns it. Of course, family corporation yan. Maraming issues. The Ayala Group, it's not perfect. Marami siyang mga question mark rin for me as a long-term investor. Bakit niya ginawa to? Bakit ganito yung financial statements? Bakit ganito yung chismis na naririnig ko? Pero based on the other companies that are in the same industry, I would say that the FS and the FS of Ali is still better and cleaner than all the other property companies in the Philippines. So I see a lot of upside, and it's a really long-term play for me.
Amazing. And by the way, guys, for those who are watching this, if you want to pick it up at a relatively lower price, if it corrects in the next few days, it's gonna hit the 200-day moving average. But wait, there's more. I just want to show this. Sabi ni Salve, it's a good long-term play. And I just want to note this also. If you stretch the chart of Ali also, at least from March, from the drop in March, you look at it right here, it's already consistently moving still sa long-term uptrend niya. It's just that for the past 6 weeks or 8 weeks or so, it's consolidating. Which, for those who know how uptrends look, may part talaga dyan na while it's moving in a long-term uptrend, there are shorter durations where it would consolidate. So,
which is also true of the entire market kasi.
Yep. So, there. So, next stock, ano naman, the holding company. Let's talk about AC. For AC also, you will see this, guys. It's so consistent. Sideways then, very, very consistent. PLDT, large cap, sideways. Ali, large cap, sideways. AC, large cap, sideways. Difference lang with AC though, it's below already the 20 and 50-day moving average. It's the third day that, if you remember the videos from yesterday, guys, it went below 803, January 20. Then it got confirmed still January 21. But today, somehow, it closed above that support level. However, just a word of caution, even though it closed above that particular support level or that particular range, it's still below the 20 and 50-day moving average. MACD, GMMA, as of now, weak lang, which confirms a sideways motion. However, it's still showing us a bit of bearishness. So, one thing that's interesting is it went back to the support. However, it's way close to the 20 and 50-day moving average. So, that's what's interesting about technicals, and that's what I don't know, Salve, if you notice this. Kahit technicals din kasi, you really don't need to watch it really every day, because if you notice it, since the start of January, nasa support lang yung AC ng support na to. So anyways, Salve, what's your take in this? Prinamis ko alam pala 15 to 20 minutes, so let's go!
Okay, very quickly, again, disclosure, I'm invested in this company.
Salve, before let you continue, may nag-send sa akin ng halo-halo sa Kumu. What does that mean?
Sa akin wala pa. Magpadala na kayo ng gift.
What does halo-halo mean?
Grabe, hardcore yan. Halo-halo is the nicest level, parang pinakamaliit na gift, but parang compounding yan eh. Kahit na maliit lang yung value niya, pag marami ka makukuha. Ayan, ang dami. Akong halo. Nagmakaawa kasi ako. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
AC, Again, also for me, it's long-term play because I like the companies because it's a holding company. I see a lot of growth in the areas where it is operating. I love the way that it is managed. Again, not perfect. There are also some things that I question about the way it's operating. Pero again, it is in areas of operation that will be greatly needed by most Filipino families in the next 10 to 20 years. And it is
Mm.
very much invested in Philippine growth. I
Mm.
think to me that is the most interesting, and that is the most attractive to me. Kasi para bang ano siya, naniniwala siya na the Philippine economy will get better. I think Jasa said in that meeting na it may take a while for the Philippine economy to go back to pre-pandemic levels, but maybe let's say third quarter next year it's gonna get better. So ang Ayala, ang AC when it plans, it's when it does its planning, it's a 50-year play.
Mm.
And as a super long-term investor, I like that. It's not looking at the trees in the forest. It's really looking at the entire forest.
Wow. So, I like what you said na exposed siya sa Philippine economy and it's banking on that. Hopefully that by what they're doing, it makes the Philippine economy better. Now, moving on to the next stock. Comment below by the way. Ano yun?
Sabi ko, eto na.
Comment below, guys, if you're learning and if this is something that's helping you. But if you guys are enjoying this also, Salve has a YouTube channel. Tawid kayo doon, subscribe, smash the bell para get updated every time she has videos. And by the way, guys, yung editing quality, the cameras that she's using, yung mga out of location shoots na shots niya, amazing. Ako, ano lang, laptop camera lang namin. So, better quality ABS-CBN angles pa, so you can expect that from her channel. So,
Oh,
the next topic we'd like
kahit
to talk
yung
about,
angulo Mars, mataba pa rin. So, pero okay lang yan. Ang importante naman dito yung mga kinakausap natin, di ba? Sabihin ko lang sa mga nakikinig sa Kumu, this is hardcore. O, di ba?
mm,
May technical na, may fundamental pa.
mm,
Ito talaga. Kung gusto nyong yumaman katulad ni Marvin,
oh, interesting. Grabe.
pinapin ko na sa'yo.
Anyways, I'd like to talk about the chart of MRC, but this is interesting. I'd like you to go first. Salve Duplito, MRC Allied Incorporated.
Okay, very quickly, I'm not invested. It is not one of the leaders in its industry. I still have to see more development that will show that it is going there. Wala masyadong reason for me to, even if you're looking for news related reason to buy or sell, hindi ka masyadong makakakita. For me, it's speculative play. Kung meron kayong some amount of money that you can afford to lose, maybe you can play around with it. I am looking for more reason for it to be included in my portfolio.
Got it. So Salve, before I continue, yung mga nasa Kumu, kunyari, they're watching you, they hear me also, parang ganun. Kasi sa laptop
Yes.
speaker.
Oo,
Is that,
you're doing Kumu on your phone, pero you're doing StreamYard on your laptop. So they can see you and they can hear what you're talking about. I think the sound that comes from your laptop, they can hear that also.
got it. So nadidinig ka rin nila. Okay.
Yes,
Okay, to
yes.
everyone in Kumu world, you're hearing the voice of the legendary ANC, Leslie ng Bayan, Salve Duplito. So,
Alam mo, Mars, yung mga ginagawa mo, it's so relevant to the young people. And they're the ones who
talaga?
are in Kumu. So very important that
Ah,
they're more educated para hindi speculation lahat.
okay, to everyone in Kumu, tawid kayo lahat sa YouTube. De, joke lang. But, magagalit yung Kumu. Anyway, for MRC, the 7 lang kayo. Pasensya na. Okay lang, loyal tayo sa Kumu. Okay, first time, second time ko ba MRC, couple of things. Thursday, Wednesday, large red candles. Couple of things also with that. Failed to break out the 0916 resistance. Broke down from the 0819 support level. Then yesterday, it broke down again. Then today, it confirmed that the 071 resistance is currently the resistance already because it did not even go up. So now, from a range point of view, resistance 0.71, continuously not going above that possible range where it could move, 0.71 resistance, 0.56 support. However, I'd like to note also that included in that downward move was a cross down from the RSI here. Secondly, today, MACD is already showing us a change in direction. But if there's one thing that could possibly protect it is this long upward trend that I drew right here. The last two candlesticks of MRC is still holding at that particular level. So in terms of hierarchy, the trend should be still stronger than the range. So should we see a bounce next week, it's primarily because of it to be very, very close to the upward trending support that we have. However, if it fails to hold that support, retracement will be at the 0.56 level. And to confirm that, it's right smack where the 50-day moving average is. So that's where we are for MRC. Last three. Okay, let's do this.
So,
Hope you guys are learning and you hope you like this collab with Salve na biglaan lang namin ginawa kasi kung nandun kayo, I was there in her channel also, which was also fun.
thank
Okay.
you.
Masaya.
Na-starstruck yung mga followers ko nung
Hindi,
pumasok ako eh.
hindi. Sobra naman. Ah, okay, let's move on. This time to a port operator, Enrique Razon, ICT. Again, large cap, same trend. Sideways, this is the resistance, 129. This is the support, 119 pesos per share. Today, it just hit the resistance. And what I like about technicals is sobrang sakto. Intraday, it hit the low of 125. Then it touched the 50-day moving average. It started to move up, but it got blocked by the 129.2 or 129.2 slash 129.4 resistance level. So as of now, similar to all of the large cap stocks that we have, ICT is currently sideways and it's very, very close to the resistance. So possible scenario, if it does not break out from that particular level, retracement will be possibly here to 125 to 124, which is where the 20 and 50-day moving averages are, to as low as the 119 level. And MACD, GMMA confirming all of the sideways movement that we have, similar to what's happening to the 20 and 50-day moving average. So there, Salve, ICT, port operator.
The world has not stopped globalizing. People will
Hmm,
continue to buy from other countries. You will continue to get orders, and ports will be a big part of that. More goods and services go through ports than anything else. Not in airports, not in ganyan. Talagang ports ang gumagalaw. And ICT is headed by such a visionary. 'Di ba? Parang and I don't know, do you see him as ruthless? A ruthless businessman? And usually yung mga negosyanteng ganyan, sila yung nakaka-corner ng a big part of the market. They
hmm,
to me, it's one of the possible acquisitions of anybody who is young, because you are going to the world will need it. So kahit na long-term play siya pwede. Yun ang
got it.
gusto kong sabihin. So it's a good acquisition for millennials, for Gen Zers. Maybe volatile in the next couple of years because of the difficulty during the pandemic on moving goods around the country. Supply side, it's ganon kasi lahat buong mundo nagkaroon ng COVID. So the goods are having a difficulty being manufactured and sent to different parts of the world, but long-term play, it's still good for
Got
me.
it. Got it. So ICT, Salve Duplito, long-term play. It's good based on what's happening in the economy. Charts again, short-term, relatively sideways. It just broke the upward trend that started last March also. So, by the way, parang pag Razon Ayala pag mestizo iba yung explanation.
Guwapo,
Iba
guwapo
yung
kasi
explanation na grabe. May
ang
may,
sama mo, grabe ka.
may napansin
Inundot
ako.
pa po ako doon.
Anyways, let's move on to fast food. By the way, uh, main channel, we had an interview. Century Pacific COO talked about the growth prospects of the company. If you have not seen that yet, watch that. Very, very insightful. Now, let's talk about Jollibee. So Jollibee, similar again to everything that we've talked about, large cap stock, sideways then, walang pagbabago. This is the sideways progression of Jollibee. You have your resistance right here at the 211 level. And for the third straight day, the support at the 186 level is currently holding its ground. So again, MACD, GMMA
Wait
confirmed.
lang, nagtatanong si J. Vince, stock market po ba yan? Tama po. Kasama po natin ang henyong si Marvin Guerra.
Kumu siya nagtatanong,
Tanong niyo
Kumu.
po siya. Okay, game.
Kumu,
Sorry.
Kumu yan, Kumu. Sa
Yes,
Kumu.
Kumu yun.
So
Okay, go, 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 go.
we're gaining ground in Kumu, guys. Guys, Kumu. Okay. Anyways, as bullied by Salve, di pala bullied, as encouraged to do
Yeah.
to do Kumu. Anyways, Jollibee holding third day support level here, 186. So again, it's still similar to all of the large cap stocks. It's currently consolidating right now, and the consolidation of Jollibee has started since November 5. So again, this place is a good area also for you. That should it bounce right here, tradable range is 186 to 210. This is a around 12% plus trade also. Short-term resistance, you could peg it at the 196 level. But from 186 to 196, yung tradable range na yan is not, hindi ganun ka-lucrative yung margin ninyo. So, if you want to trade this, the tradable range is 186, main support level of the sideways progression. Then on the flip side, on the upside, is the resistance at the 210 level. And again, similar to what I said a while ago, GMMA, MACD confirming the sideways consolidation. And that's what we're seeing as a prevailing trend. The large caps are sideways, and it's the ones that are not relatively large that were moving up and also moving down massively this week with very, very large volatility. Now, Salve Duplito, Chicken Joy, go!
Chicken Joy Investing, ang layo na nang narating ng Jollibee magmula nung panahon na ice cream parlor pa lang siya. Kung nakabili kayo nung time na nag-IPO yan, sobrang yaman nyo na. Parang Marvin Guerra na kayo ngayon. Even though it's sideways, ang layo-layo niya na dun sa pinanggalingan niya. It was one of my favorite stocks before. At a certain point, it became too expensive to buy. So now, because of the difficulties that are happening in the restaurant industry, dati talaga pag sinabi mong Jollibee, alam mo pag nagka-crisis, yung mga dating nag-yellow cab, pumupunta sa Jollibee. So kahit na crisis, hindi talaga siya bumabagsak masyado. So for people who are looking for good bargains, mas swerte ka pag nakabili ka ng Jollibee na medyo mababa yung presyo mo. Because you know that Filipinos will also always buy the burgers. Ito yung McDo ng yung McDo ng Pilipinas. Ito yung version natin na lang hap-sarap. So you know that it's also going overseas, ang dami-dami niya ng pero magkakaroon siya ng difficulty in the sense that even in the Philippines last year, ang laki ng losses ng Jollibee because people in the beginning lined up for Jollibee, pero habang nagbubukas na yung ibang stores, nawawala na rin siya ng linya. Ako, as a value investor, it's one of the things that I do. I really look at the business physically. Tinitingnan ko kung pinipilahan, tinitingnan ko kung lumalaki yung orders through apps or Grab or ganyan. And nahirapan siya last year. So if it's going to innovate into cloud kitchen and all of those things and continue to grow after the pandemic, look for a good time to come in na makukuha mo siya ng mura. And then pwede pa rin siyang magbigay sa'yo ng malaking upside over time, but I don't think it's going to give you the same growth in return as in the last 15 years.
Wow, well said. Okay, so technicals, sideways, fundamentals, valuations wise, it's not so cheap right now as where it was.
Mahal pa rin.
Pero as compared nung bumagsak siya nung March, malaki na rin inakyat niya kasi halos more than double na siya. So it makes it more, I think, more premium. Kasi laki na ng inakyat niya from where we were nung March. Lastly, another...
First, ako muna magtatanong sa'yo.
Oh, sige, go.
Alam mo yung mga natakot nung March? Nasaan na kaya sila ngayon? Di ba? Kasi talagang pagbulusok niya sa 4,000, do you still see the market going down to 4,000 in the next 5 to 10 years?
I don't know. I actually don't know. Pero yung nangyari nung March, that was a very, very good opportunity that doesn't happen often. That should have been, siguro people should have taken advantage of it kasi pinag-usapan natin to sa video with Rex Mendoza and Bo Sanchez that yung Ali, pinag-usapan natin bumagsak to 19. Pero I saw it 19 lang siya, a few minutes lang yun, it closed the day at 24. So yung bargains na sobrang mura, it happened very quick. Pero if you did not get it sakto, 24 pesos is still a very, very cheap price to be able to get Ali. So, I think 2020 could have been a lesson also that you at the moment where there's a lot of uncertainty and medyo nakakatakot, although may chance na bumaba lalo, it will give you also a chance of a better and bigger upside. Pero yun nga lang, at the point na nangyayari yun, talagang dapat, pagkabili mo, wag mag-log out ka na kasi kung di ka mag-log out.
Tama. Really, yeah. Emotions ang kalaban natin dito.
So, log out. Tapos kalimutan mo na lang. Kunyari, you are following Salve na value cheap. Tapos nakita mo, teka muna, bakit at 27, mura na siya dito You buy it, and then when your emotions are tagging you na, bababa pa yan, log out ka na, di ba? At least nabili mo na. And then saka ka na magtanong sa kaibigan mo, wag ka magtatanong first bago ka magtanong kasi may influence yan. So yun.
Ang dami na sabi, luka-luka daw ako nung March, sabi ko, time to buy. Sabi ng mga tao, sira ulo siguro to. But you won't see that again in the next 100 years.
And what's interesting to everyone watching this, I don't know if you've noticed this, I can say whatever I want, pero Salve won't do anything based on what I say. And Salve can say whatever she wants. And hindi ko rin naman gagawin yun. Kasi what's so important is, aralin nyo lahat, then find something na mag-work para sa inyo. And
make your own call.
And that's what we're doing here. We're showing you logic, but in a way, you need to build your own also. And Salve, ito yung interesting. You can watch 100 videos of Salve in Salveses, but you can never get her own conviction. Kasi conviction only happens when you try it.
I like that.
Pang-on the money yun. Anyways, BPI.
Ganun din yan sa panliligaw, di ba?
Pero madaming panliligaw na nangyari during this lockdown na online lang. Mga lockdown love. Nagkabuhat sila. Ako mo nag-heart kasi love yung pinag-uusapan.
Oo nga, mag-heart na.
Nakapit hearts na ako. Ako mo. Anyway.
Okay, game.
Last talk, favorite again ni Salve, Sobels, guwaping again, super handsome people that Salve likes. BPI, again, walang pagbabago, large cap, sideways. Think about BPI though also today, it's breaking down already from the 84.42 support level. It's breaking down from the 20 and 50-day moving average. And then MACD is already showing us a cross down. GMMA is also showing us a cross down. And the breakdown brought it to the support at the 79.85 level. So if this support would not hold in the next few days, possible retracement will bring it to 77.22, which if it does that, it still upholds the sideways motion that we have. So kahit bumaba siya or mag-breakdown siya from this 79.98 level, or even if it retraces here to 77.37, it's still not reversing into a downtrend. It's still consolidating. Please remember the movement from uptrend to sideways happened December 4, and that's why we're seeing BPI still consolidating right now. So before I hand it over to Salve, napansin mo, prevailing theme ngayon because wala nang bumibili ng large cap, wala nang bumibili higher, it's consolidating. And given that foreigners are still selling, we're not really seeing it anymore push up. It's just the second liners that are moving higher. BPI, Salve Duplito, let's go.
Okay, digitalization. Digital finance. That's going to be the big thing for BPI. Kumbaga parang pag na-transcend niya at na-ensure niya na siya pa rin ang leader in that industry, then it's gonna go higher. Long-term play as well because demographic story pa rin naman yan. Pero important for me, I'm a consumer and also a stockholder. So important sa akin yung bituka ng system sa loob ng BPI. It has a lot of systems, IT systems inside that are not talking to each other. So from time to time, you will see failures in service. Sometimes there's hacking. Sometimes there's security problem, which is true of all banks naman, especially during the lockdown. But it has to do better. It if it wants to protect its position in the industry, kailangan mas magaling siya sa lahat. So I'm really looking for that signal na it will find that solution to all of the system issues, to innovation in terms of offering digital services. Alam mo, yung GCash, sobrang lumakas kasi hindi pa napo-provide ng mga traditional banks the easiest, the UIs, the user interface na binigay ng GCash, the community, the ganon. So sayang, hindi niya nakuha siya. 'Di ba? So, kung kaya, sometimes kasi it's difficult to change things when you are as big as BPI. 'Di ba? Bigger companies have a hard time innovating and changing. Disclosure, kaibigan ko yung mga tao doon, pero kailangan talaga objective tayo dito. Diba? So digital finance, that's what we need to look for. Pero as a whole, the industry, the banking industry, while it's consolidating, maybe because the entire market is, or nakahanap ng play yung mga tao, if you're going to look at 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you're still looking at banks will still be an important part of the growth of the Philippine economy.
Got it. May sinabi kang term na kalimutan ko kanina eh. Yung parang wala nang tatalo sa kanya. Naalala ko, pareho pala siya ng mother-in-law ko. Wala nang tatalo sa kanya. So,
ganun, mother.
Kumu audience. So, there, we talked about TEL, Ali, AC, MRC, ICT, JFC, and BPI. So, I guess that's it. Any final words, Salve Duplito, before we let you go? And by the way, guys, I was supposed to put this in my second channel, pero since guest natin si Salve, lalabas to first channel na, kaya naman may guest tayo, so dapat nasa main channel lalabas. Pero, here's what you can expect. Since hindi ko to ma-upload sa second channel, may isa pa tayong video second channel right after this. Abangan nyo na lang, mag-film na lang ulit ako.
So, madami. Ganyan po talaga, kaya thousands and thousands of subscribers po si Marvin. Hindi po siya nauubusan ang sasabihin.
Okay, Salve.
TV, hindi ako eh. Okay, last and final.
Ayusin ko muna, since magpa-final spiel ka, dapat close up ka. Yan, doon tayo. Yan,
Ngayon po, masyado ko na-excite eh. Okay, last and final words. Has the pandemic changed the way people invest, changed the way people plan for the future? I think there are some parts that we need to look at and change, but overall, mas marami pa rin yung mga old principles that we still need to continue following. First of all, I mean, when you invest, look at your goals pa rin. Make sure that the nature and the nature of your investment matches your goals. Sometimes we're too short term when in fact we're investing for retirement, which is maybe 30, 40 years from now. Wow, 20 years old lang. Diba? So, kailangan mag-match din yun if we're really looking for long-term growth in the funds, then we invest for long-term. If we're looking for short-term, then go for short-term. Dapat nagma-match yun lagi.
And based on balikan nyo na lang yung video, pero the more guapo the founder or owner, mas malaki yung bicycle ng Salve doon. So yun yung natutunan ko sa video.
Hindi naman po tayo ganun. Hindi po tayo nag-discriminate sa itsura. Ikaw talaga, grabe ka. So, lang talaga na guwapo sila.
Okay. Before I let you go, Salve, if there's one video that you recommend that they watch sa channel mo para after this panoorin nila, what do you think they should watch?
Oh, that's hard. I think because your viewers are already investors, there were three, syempre ang unang-una yung papanoorin, yung video namin ni Marvin.
Comment below!
Diba? Syempre, kasi tayo yun, si Randall kasama, pinag-aaway ko sila kung peso cost averaging nag-work o hindi. Ayaw talaga nila mag-away. Ayun, pero it was a good debate, it was a good discussion, and I think it's very parang very useful to a lot of people. Thank you for the lechon. It's me, honey. Maraming salamat sa lechon. O, ayan. May lechon ka ba? May lechon ka ba?
Wala. So,
Meron.
so,
Tomato
so may
followers.
natutunan ako, no, may natutunan pala ako dito. Pwede pagsabayin habang nagre-record for
Yes.
YouTube yung Kumu. So, Kumu
Okay.
gets a sneak peek.
Yeah.
Una kayo bago mo sa YouTube. Oh. Oh, diba?
Meron
May
pa ako,
natutunan tayo.
Carlito Pre, maraming salamat po. It's me, honey. Ang dami nung pinadala. Anyway, so ano na nga ba yung pinagsasabi ko? Okay, so watch that.
Okay, go.
Me with Randall and the Marvin, the guiding light, Marvin Guermo, because it's very practical. It's both for beginners, beginner investors, or yung mga taong matagal na in the market, because from time to time you really have to go back to the basics and think about what you want to do with the way you're investing. And also, recently I had 3 episodes with Edward Lee, the chairman of Call Financial. It's ang ganda kasi ano siya, parang course siya sa school. Merong for beginners, stock market for beginners. Merong stock market advanced, yung mga tao na matagal na nag-i-invest in stocks but need to level up. And then the third one is putting it in the context of the pandemic so that you know what are the next moves that you need to take with the kind of goals that you have. So, ang favorite ko talaga si Marvin po talaga.
So, there, I hope you guys got a lot. Kung nag-enjoy kayo, Salve charting session, comment, I love Salve. Surprise to guys, hindi ako naglalabas ng 11 p.m. na video, pero sabay-sabay na natin. So, ayun, that's it for now. Thank you everyone for joining us. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. Thank you so much, Salve Duplito. Her channel, link in the description below. God bless you all. And we are done.